All right then, welcome to Bala Clava's YouTube channel. Or if you're watching it on Instagram, welcome to my Instagram channel. And if you're watching it on either and you didn't know that I had the other, then you already know what to do. Anyway, Black Mirror. I ain't seen Black Mirror in a while because you know what I should have done? I should have checked the name of the episode before starting this review. But we're here now, so we're here now. Anyway, original Black Mirror. I've seen, when I say original Black Mirror, I'm saying pre-Bandersnatch and pre the new thing. So like seasons 1, 2, 3. I've only ever really seen a couple. I've seen that one where there's that girl who is going to a wedding and they're doing like, everyone's getting Uber ratings. And she's like a 3 or something. And she gets invited to a party with a bunch of 4.5s. But they're actually inviting her so that they can get some clout. And then as she's going, she's getting low ratings. And then she just gets vexed. And then she gives some speech and it goes a bit mad. So I saw that one. That was sick. What else did I see? San Junipero, greatest episode of all time, made me cry. Not even cry a little bit. I'm not talking like tears. I'm not talking watch your eyes. I'm talking... That's how much it made me cry. And then I watched the Star Trek thing, which wasn't really Star Trek. And that was weird. I don't really remember what happened. But then I remember thinking, with these Black Mirror episodes, there's some kind of redundancy to it. It's like you watch 1 or 2 and you're like, okay, lit. But then it's like, actually, all they're doing is just social commentary on technology. Like, oh my god, in the future it's gonna be like this and we're not gonna be able to talk in real life. Like, that's it, you know? That's what Black Mirror is in a nutshell. Anyway, this one was recommended to me, so what did I do? I decided to watch it. And man took notes in it, because obviously I don't want to do this in some kind of next order. Yeah. Okay then. First scene. So the thing started off, yeah, with some sick music. Maybe I should be playing it in the background. When I was watching it and they were in... You know, pre-time skip, pre the 11 years later. And they were in like some kind of club and there was some kind of girl. And I think that's the girl who married Danny later on. That club had some pumping music. So that was like, okay. And then it was like 11 years later. It was just, I don't know, it was just a bit redundant. Like, I don't understand why they showed that first scene to be like 11 years later and then show that those two guys were brethren and there was some kind of weird chemistry going on between them. I don't understand why they couldn't just have done the episode in the current climate, but then act out that, you know, they know each other from back in the day. I thought it wasn't necessary for you to see the old guy with the dreadlocks, like, oh my god, look, we're in college together, like what one with that. But anyway, neither here nor there. As soon as I saw them two, I thought there was some kind of homoerotic vibes between them, because at one point he dry humped the other guy, and I was like, something I won. I'm gonna have to do a little cut there because I went off on a mad tangent. It wasn't even to relate with it. I just went off on some mad tangent and I was like, oh. So with this episode, when you saw them two dons, the two dons who end up tingsing on virtual reality, and they were playing Mortal Kombat. That was like a nice little introduction to Roxanne and Lance, right? And when I was watching it, I was thinking, this is just Mortal Kombat. They've just given it some banter name. And I was like, okay, I wonder where this is going. And then obviously 11 years later, it's my man's birthday. And you know what? There was a line in there which I was like, oh man, that's so damn true. Like, there was a line like, yeah, I've not seen you since my last birthday. And I do feel that about like just being an adult in general. There is something quite sad about people just seeing each other on birthdays. It shouldn't be like that. Like, it shouldn't be like, oh yeah, I've not seen my man for time. It's my birthday. Let me see him again. Or her. It should be like, people should make conscious efforts, I feel, to reach out to people who they knew back from college and back from uni. Because if you just start seeing them, like every birthday, like, I feel life can get quite sad. That's just my perspective. So I did appreciate that, Black Mirror made a conscious effort to be like, we're adults, it's kind of boring. Just see you on my birthday, you know what I mean, you know what I mean? So like, that was a nice little bit of social commentary right there. And you got my man here chatting about he's now single, flexing. He's got the little Tinder ting, meeting Mariella. And they were like, she was like, oh, you lucky man. And he was like, you know, you know. Also, is it just me? Before I carry on, the main Don, well, not the main Don, the second main Don, the one who had the dreadlocks first, he barely looks familiar, but I don't know who he looks like. He was giving me Meek Mill vibes, like a Meek Mill crossed with 50 Cent, crossed with a little bit of Big Sean. That's what I was seeing. Anyway, so this Meek Mill Don comes out here chatting about, you know, I've got Tinder, man's going on a date. Mariella, don't know. Met her where? On the phone. Goes for a date with her and is like, haha. My man over there looks like Rodman. And she's like, oh, the hair? Yeah, I see the resemblance. I hate that though. Like, she could have just been like, oh, I don't know who Dennis Rodman is. Not Rodman. I don't know who Dennis Rodman is. And just like, and then just moved on. Like, it's awkward when you try to say something to someone. Well, I suppose it's not awkward because technology is helpful. When you say like a joke to someone and they don't get it, so they Google what you mean and they're like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, sometimes things just let it go seamlessly. We don't, beg your pardon. We don't have to refer back to technology all the time. We don't have to go back to Google to like get a punchline. Sometimes it just happens. It happens. Just move on in it. Just take the L. Just say, okay, I don't get the joke, and just move on. So I felt that was somewhat banter because that guy did have Rodman vibes. Is Dennis Rodman gay? Let me Google that. The irony. Let me Google that because I'm thinking if he is, where's my phone? Bruh. I was looking for my phone. My phone's the one doing the recording. I don't know if Dennis Rodman is gay or not, but if he is, then that's actually like some foreshadowing on sexuality, which they did in advance, which I hadn't even noticed until I started doing this recording. So yeah, Black Mirror's a bit mad still. Anyway, yeah, you know what? I did notice bare people using their phones in this episode. But that's real life, innit? Like, the girl, Danny's wife, who reminds me of Eve. I don't know her name, but she was a sick actor. I'll get to her in a minute. She was chatting about, yeah, my app is saying this is the best time for fertility. There's an app for everything. I'm not against that. Like, you know, I had a flipping mouse running around the flat one time. Went to an iTunes app store, typed in apps to get rid of mice, and then an app came up. Swear down. Like, there's an app which you can use to get rid of mice. Bare apps. And even when my man ended up actually tingsing Mariella, that was just sad. Like, as soon as they finish beating, she just goes on her phone. And he's just kind of laying there. And it's like, what are you doing? She on a group chat? She on Twitter? She on Instagram? She looking at memes? What is going on? And this is the thing. And like, I have seen this. This does happen in real life, and it's kind of sad, you know. You know, you're with someone, you do something which you think, you know, it's kind of intimate, and then the next moment, now, next man's bro pulled out their phone, and you're like, what? But man's here. Like, just give me some time. God damn it! Just show me you care. And I think that was well reflected. in the scene. I might put the picture up, but boy, I don't know how to edit like shit. Anyway, what I do want to talk about, that fight scene though. Boy, as soon as they went into that virtual reality, I'm not even gonna talk about the actual the relationship which they had. When they got into that virtual reality game, that was sick. How the characters were like, and then his knee was all fine and stuff, and then they just started. That was so sick. That was cold blooded. There was like a teep front kick in there. He was also trying to do like a that's not Hadouken. He tried to do a Shoryuken. No wait, is this the Shoryuken? Hadouken, yeah. He tried to do a Hadouken, but like he got the controls wrong, and then he just kind of stopped, as it would in an actual game. Like when virtual reality gets to that level, I am going in because that's sick. I'm actually excited about that because like that man were actually proper fighting. Also, what I did notice, and I've never noticed this about these kind of games, all these characters, is one of them always southpaw? Because statistically, that's just incorrect. Because there aren't just that many left-handed people in the world. It's not 50-50. I don't know the statistics, but it's probably more like a 25% thing. So to think, all the characters which you use on Mortal Kombat, somehow when they're fighting, you can see like their side, meaning that one of them is left-handed and one of them is right-handed, because if both of them were right-handed or if both of them were left-handed, you'd be seeing the back of someone else. And I've never peeped this until now, when I saw them fighting and I was like, hang on a minute, one of them southpaw. So that was just a little observation which I made. One of them come like Luis Ortiz. But anyway, the fighting was so sick. I was proper enjoying that. But as they were fighting, you could see like in the eyes that, you know, Roxanne was giving him the little Yamin, like the little eyes, you know, those little Yamin. And I was about to call him Kid Lance. What kind of dead name? Lance was also giving the Yamin. And then as soon as she landed on top of him to do the ground and pound, she looked at him. He looked back. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I put it yesterday morning, y'all thought it was ready? Literally. I was like, wait, what's going on here? What's going on here? Then they did their thing. Next moment, man's chatting about, hey, you know, last time that happened, yeah, I was kind of drunk still. It's just in so much denial. I guess it's like a weird thing. Like, what are they? Like, if you like someone, but on a virtual reality platform, where on a spectrum of sexuality would you fit? Because obviously later on, you know, when he then kissed him and they found that, they, you know, they didn't feel anything. But then when they go on a virtual thing, it's like there's something there. So where does that fit? Like that's a question for the that's one for the philosophers. Anyway, and then what did annoy me though, this actually did vex me. The second time they came back to fight, yeah, I was actually so vexed. Like I was so vexed because like the level was sick. As in, like, the platform which they chose. Because, you know, whenever you play these games, like, you select, like, if it's Naruto, there's got Hidden Rain Village, Hidden Sand Village, platform. Like, you pick, yeah? They had some sick place to fight, and I was excited because there was water. And I was thinking, oh my god, they're going to be fighting, they're going to be walking on water, then they'll do their beating afterwards, yeah? As in, when I say beating, I don't mean fighting beating, but I mean, like, the sexual intercourse. And what they do? They just kind of edge towards each other. He faints, she faints, throws like some feints, more feints. And then they just start tingsing and getting off like, bruh, man. That was so redundant and bare predictable. Like, oh my god, we're just going to meet each other. Passion. Like, nah, fam. I wanted to see a fight. Because I was proper enjoying that virtual reality fight. I was proper enjoying the Mortal Kombat. So, like, it was, okay, cool, yeah, okay, now they're just gonna always meet and beat. Okay, that's fine and all, but I was actually enjoying what happened beforehand, you know? Like, give me some foreplay at least, god damn. Anyway, then Roxanne went out. No, not Roxanne. The female character, she went out, as in Danny's wife. She went out, got an Uber, was still a Toyota Prius. I don't know when this is set. Because when she got her car, we knew it was an Uber. When she got her car, it was a Toyota Prius. And you know, Uber man roll in Toyota Priuses 9 out of 10 times. But it's like, when is this set? Is this 15 years from now? 15 years, are people, Uber drivers still going to be in Toyota Prius? Well, I suppose. Then again, I'm never going to bother trying to guess what's going to happen in the future, because we got 2001 Space Odyssey wrong. So I'm never going to try any of that. Anyway, another thing which I thought was bare jokes was every time they were fighting, it just looked like a bad dub. Like if you've ever seen anime and they're dubbing and they're talking and he's like, come here and fight me. Like literally, that was bare jokes. But what did annoy me as well is like when they were, Roxanne and Lance, is like when they were actually like having sex, right? Or they were doing their passionate thing. Wait, Lance was putting in work. But like, they were beating. When they had the waterfall thing, anyway, when they were doing all of that, it was too fluid. Like, no virtual reality is that good. Because think, when they're fighting, they're all like bouncy, like characters. They're throwing like the punches, like, you know, and it's like duck, and they're like, you know, it was proper like, but then as soon as they're tingsing, they're like doing bare movement. Like, that's not consistent. I'm not falling for that. Realistically, yeah, when they were beating and having sex, it should have been more virtual. So it should have been like, not like the fluid thing which was going on. So that was inconsistent. But you know what, like, what can you do about that? Like, that's a bit long to like try to fix, and it would actually look so ridiculous. And it take away the passion as well, which was important to this episode. And you know what? I was so dead when she texted him chatting about, yo, man. When Danny's wife texting like, yo, gotta get a babysitter. And he was like, babysitter? What for? And she was like, it's anniversary. Thanks. I was like, oh, wow. He was like, what we need a babysitter for? So that was bare jokes. Anyway, end up going to the dinner now. Next smooth man comes over chatting about, hey, you want a drink? And she was like, nah, got my ring. Oh, that's not the ring finger. Right, I can't do it. She's like, no, got my ring. And it was like, oh, sorry. And then he just kind of slid off. And when she came, the monologue she gave, sick monologue. Sick monologue. Well, it wasn't really a monologue, but she was doing most of the dialogue, because the monologue is continuous, isn't it? But she was sick. I wrote down some of the lines she said. I'm gonna reenact that scene right now. Like, she was like, is there something going on? And he was like, no. I'm getting the words wrong. She was like, is there something going on? And he was like, no. And then he was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And she pressed him. And she was like, I said what I said. Is there something going on? Is it my body? Is there someone else? I was like, right. She's getting emotional, you know? And then she was like, when I was here by myself, someone tried to chat me up. I've made sacrifices too. I've made sacrifices too. Your peoples too. Okay, no, your peoples too. That's a different quote. That's the Deontay Wilder thing. But like, that was some sick acting. Obviously, I'm getting it wrong. What else did she say? And she was like, do you want this? What else did she say? She was like, do you want this coochie or nah? You don't touch me anymore. You don't touch my shoulder. You don't kiss me no more. I was like, Jesus Christ, she's going in. She was like, is there someone? And he bold-faced lied. Jesus, I was upset. He lied. He lied to her face. He touched her on the hand and she was like, she didn't like react. He just touched her. And he was like, no, there's no one. That's a lie. You know what? You are cheating. If you chat to someone on like virtually, on like MSN, or no one's using MSN no more, Tinder, or like some chat room, and you're married, you're cheating. Even if you don't meet them, you're cheating. He's in a virtual reality game, beating. He lied. He lied. He lied. Bold face. And he kept it up too. That scene hurt me, but that was some brilliant acting. I've got to look her up. Because she was sick. And then what else have I got to say about this episode? Yeah, man, burn marriage. Like, this is what I wrote. I wrote here, burn marriage. I don't even know if I want to get married, man, because I see things like this and I'm like, boy, what if you get married and it's been like 10 years and she was all chatting about, I've been loyal. And I'm like, boy, like, what if you change your mind 12 years later? Like, boy, like, burn marriage, man. Like, sounds like a long thing. And then, and then they switched over to the scene where my man, the Meek Mill looking Don, having sex with Mariella, and then he was like, I had to write this down. He was like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get there. And then she was like, you worried about your work again? Clearly, that's a lie. I don't believe anyone who uses work as like a reason for like not doing things. No, because some people have got bare work, but I'm skeptical. I'm bare skeptical. If someone is chatting about, oh no, like work is on my mind, that's why I can't finish. Work is this, Satnagwan, like Satnagwan. So yeah, so that was jokes. What else have I got right? Yeah. Oh my days, and she's just like, mind if I finish myself off? Finishing yourself off is fine, you know. Sometimes it doesn't happen, you know. Sometimes, you know, you beat and it's not happening. Not one. So, you know, you just gotta finish yourself. But the way she just opened up the porn, I was like, oh, raw. I thought that was bare jokes. Also, I did notice, and I probably like this about this, it's like the Danny and the Meek Mill looking Don. I liked how the directors, they didn't, in some scenes, they didn't have like trims, as in their haircuts were looking a bit off. And that's realistic, because that's what real life's like. So even when my man was on his anniversary date, I noticed he looked a little bit trimless. Like, his beard wasn't all shaping up. His ting wasn't all like, it was all like rugged. And that's realistic. It was combed, neat, but not trimmed. And that's real life. Because you don't have a trim all day 24/7. You don't have makeup all day 24/7. Your brows ain't done all day 24/7. Neither are your lashes. So it was good that, you know, when I saw him, sometimes the trim wasn't all there. And in other scenes, the trim was all there. I was like, yeah, I like that. I see what you did there. So I rated that still. Oh my days. And then, you know, it called my man. It was like, yo, man, we gotta end this, whatever's going on. And my man was like, that guy was funny. I keep on with the Meat Mill looking down. He was chatting about, yo, man, what if we just, you know, we can just do this every first Sunday of each month, bro. Oh, that was funny. Oh my days. You know when my man came around, when he was like, yo, come meet me at this spot. And he came around, he rolled his sleeves up. He was like, yo, let's go. And I was like, no, just, bro, just kiss me so we see what going on. I thought it was so funny. He thought he was coming for smoke. But no, he wasn't. The rain was corny, though. We didn't need the rain. Or maybe it was the rain to mislead us to think they're going to have some romantic kissing scene. Or was the rain just like there? Because if they had like kissed in the rain and it was all bare passionate, and now man's taking his shirt off, man's got a six-pack, like that would have just been bare corny. I'd have just switched it off. Like, bro, like this is too redundant and too like obvious and too like we've had San Junipero. We've had love stories before where it's like, oh, people end up kissing and it's all happy ever after. It was just cool that they were just like, nah, let's just do this like on 14th of July and Danny's wife, she can just take her ring off and go talk to those smooth looking brothers in the bar. So that was cool. That was funny though, how when he went up to her, he was like, okay, like, so how do you do? And he was like, kiss me! Kiss me! And he went up to him like, ha ha ha. That was jokes. Anyway, good episode. It was fascinating. I don't know why the little man was bear kicking Tyler. What is his deal? He was kicking at the party. He kicked my man at one point in the shin whilst he was playing the game. That was a bit odd. Unless if it's going to be relevant to the next couple of episodes, then yeah, it is what it is. But sick episode, no complaints. Peace.